Yo, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. As you may or may not know, I've started a new job, so we're going to have limited time to work on the MX-5, but I'll still have evenings, which is why I put it in the garage with the lights, and I'll also have weekends, which is what it is today. But anyway, like you saw, if you saw the previous video, you will see that the engine's out and everything is stripped from the engine bay. We've covered the wires so they won't get paint on them when we eventually come to paint it. So, what are we going to be doing, cracking on with the build? Well, we're going to be starting to smooth this engine bay. Now, I'm waiting for filler to arrive. We're going to be using some fiberglass filler, some smoothing filler. We're going to be welding some bits up. But what we need to do is we need to cut out what we don't need in the engine bay. So, what we're going to do, let me show you right here. So, these bits here, when we get a bigger turbo, they're going to be in the way. So, we're going to cut these out, and we are going to strengthen them. And what we're also going to get is we're going to get a front, what's it called? It's not a sway bar, it might be a sway bar. The bit that connects the top of the two coilover struts. So what we'll do is we'll get one of those, that will strengthen it, and we'll also do a bit of welding on these to strengthen them as well. But these bits need to be removed. And also, if you have a look, there's a lip all the way along here. And that's going to be in the way when we're going to do the turbo too. Some people do just cut a section out of it here and hammer it down, but we want it to be super clean. So we're going to have to cut that out. Now, this has actually got spot welds all the way down it. So once we cut that off, obviously there'll be nothing holding the two layers of steel together. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to stitch weld along there. And yeah, I'll show you how to do that. I've actually never welded before, so we'll see how it goes. And also I've got a MIG, so it's gonna be bird poop central, but hopefully that will turn out pucker. And yeah, there's loads of other little bits which need to be cut out on this side, and then we'll go ahead and start on the other side afterwards. But for the time being, we'll do this side, start smoothing bits down and getting it ready for filler. What we've also got, when there's when we have little bits of rust, we have Darren the drill with a wire brush on the end. So I've already been at a couple of bits using that just to take off any surface rust which there is, and that's worked pucker, so we're all good to go. So what I'll do, I'll set up a camera on a time lapse and we'll get into cutting up the engine bay. My ears are bloody ringing. I can hardly hear anything after using this. And Ripperino, look at that bloody disc. That is absolutely fucked. But anyway, we've done some chopperinos in the engine bay. So that was the thing falling down. Oh bloody hell, I just thought something was collapsing. That bit needs some welding, of course, because we've just cut out some of the structure. But what we'll do is we'll strengthen that up without having those bits there. It's just gonna look a lot cleaner when the engine bay's smooth. Since I need a new disc, then I can't go ahead and keep chopping in the engine bay. And yeah, the shop's going to be closed by the time I get a change. I need to do some food shopping for everything like that for work next week. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out the sander now and just start sanding bits down. In the meantime, what we'll do is I will get a new grinding disc and then we will go ahead and carry on with that. It'll probably be in a couple of days' time or one evening after work. But yeah, we'll crack on with that. It'll be in the same video, but it's going to be a different day. Yo, we're back, guys. It's actually the next weekend after I started off this original video. London life, mate. Started working, and during the week, at the moment, I'm a bit knackered. So yeah, it's the next weekend anyway. What we've been doing, we've been chopping out a bit more under the engine bay. As you'll be able to see in a minute if we have a look. Right there, you can see it's been choppings. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to flip the camera around and basically we're going to cut away a seat, which is going to allow us to mount a big boy turbo. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what we're going to cut and how we're going to maintain some structural integrity by cutting this out basically. Right, as you can see, I've been to town on this side and this side, just trying to get everything ready for smoothing with the filler. But there's a seam here, as you can see. My turbo just clears that, and that's a TD04. So when we're going to go for the Borg Warner turbo, it's not going to fit there at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to just chop that out. Now, one thing to bear in mind is, as you can see, there's loads and loads of spot welds all the way down here, which are holding these two bits of metal together. So we can't just chop it out and leave it. What we're going to need to do is we're going to have to chop it out, and then we're going to do like a stitch weld along there. I think I need to buy a better welder. That welder is absolutely terrible, and just so, I am absolutely terrible at welding, but that will do. I mean, it looks pretty strong. It's just a couple of tiny little stitches all the way along, because if you do the whole thing, it could warp the metal because it's quite thin and it's sheet metal. Well, that's what I've read online anyway. Don't take me for any sort of welding Jedi, but that's all done now. So what we need to do is make sure there's nothing else which needs to be cut out of the engine bay, and if that is the case, then we can go ahead, start cleaning it all up, sanding it down, and then start applying some filler. Right, as you saw in those previous clips, we've been applying some filler. We've done 2 layers on that side now, and we're going to leave that to dry so we can sand it, and then we'll see where we need to fill more, rather than just keep going with the filler. Because what I learnt when I've done it on a previous car is the more you put on, the more you need to sand off. It sounds like common sense, but trust me, it can be an absolute bastard to sand off all the lumps. So what we're going to do for the time being now, whilst waiting for that side to dry, or well, not really looking at anything, but whilst waiting for the side we've done to dry, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the other side, do a little bit more grinding with the angle grinder, and prepare that side so it's ready for filler. So yeah, you saw that in those clips anyway, but that side has got some filler on it already. This side, as you can see, you can see on this side, we've grinded it down. There was a lip like that, so that's like grinded down as much as it needs to be, just for a little bit of filler to make it all nice. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut off this little lip here. We'll just cut off all these lips and grind them down. We're going to leave it on because it's not welded at any of those points. It's spot welded all the way around, so it will add a little bit more structure. So I think we're best keeping that. We're just going to cut the little lips off because, to be honest, yeah, I don't know why they're there. They're just a bit pointless. So we'll crack on with this, and then yeah, we'll catch up once this is all dry, and we'll just catch up and say where I am for everything. But it's going to be getting dark soon anyway, so yeah, we'll catch up soon. It's dark now, as you can see behind me, and what we've done since we last caught up is we've now done, well, not finished, but we've done the first 2 coats of filler on this side and that side. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave it for today's video because it's getting a bit late. I need to have a bath, get ready for work tomorrow and for next week. But what we're going to do, we're going to leave the video there, we'll crack on in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.